So my section was practical steps, which is how to recover. Squish. Oh, you're fine. Overview is policy changes, social events, curricular changes, and organized resources. Next slide. So California's AB 537, which prevents discrimination in schools based on sexual or gender identity in order to gain equal treatment. 20 states have no provisions against gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, or non-gendered students in school. California has one of the most progressive laws, though teachers and administrators usually do not know of this law or how to enforce it. To implement these laws, teachers and administrators need to look at their school with a different perspective, a perspective that notes how both homophobic labels and flirtatious behaviors create a normative gender and sexual identities which preserve unequal gender arrangements. Films such as Flirting or Hurting, according to CJ, the author of our book, can help both educators and students to recognize more equitable interactions. Next slide. Schools can modify homophobic and sexist social environments in many ways, placing affirmative posters, providing support for GSAs, sponsoring assemblies and speakers, reorganizing highly generated school rituals, which I'll get into later. There's over 3,000 GSAs nationwide, according to the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network. Safe zones, which was speaking previously. A space for them to feel safe, create social networks, hear special speakers, plan social events, and learn. School programs. Schools already have programs such as Every 15 Minutes, which simulates students' death due to drunk driving accidents. These programs are organized to teach students lessons about history, respect for difference, anti-racism, and alcohol abuse. In addition to these schools, can bring feminist gay rights organizations to talk about gay history, equal rights, and teasing. They can also support GSA members' efforts to stage their own social interventions, such as the Day of Silence. Social events. Schools should change the outlook of social events, such as dances, proms, and homecoming, by using a more neutral title, or having a Miss Cougar, or a Homecoming King. To develop alternative gender-neutral titles, they should also allow students to take same-gender dates. Next slide. Schools have a lack of inclusion of GLBT. Learning about GLBT or gender variant people will send a message to straight students about the school's stance on homophobic and sexist learning, teasing. The hidden curriculum. Teachers shouldn't try to gender masculine favor by allowing sexism or homophobia to go unchecked. Next slide. Well, that got messed up. Organizations and resources that are provided to schools provide the Safe Schools Coalition and California Teachers Association and the Gale BC provide resources, lesson plans, and teaching tools for teachers to create a less homophobic and gender-normative classrooms. Teacher's Handbook. The CTA and National Education Association partnered together to produce a teacher's handbook called Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgendered Youth, Breaking the Silence. In this book, the goal is to educate teachers and school employees to ensure that all students receive equal educational opportunities. It also discusses guidelines, statistics about sexual identities, definitions, exercises for students, and a variety of ways to include gays and lesbians into the curriculum. This handbook was a model for what teachers might be given at the beginning of each school year. Next slide. So the GSA meetings in youth challenge the concept of normal through their interactions and their dress styles. Public groups. They made their difference public, and they did so in groups, which afforded them more protection and possibly power than if they did it by themselves or individually. Harassing. We can't accept that youth craft masculine identities through physical and verbally harassing girls and some boys. Adults have taken a stand for the most part against racist epithets in school at both institutional and individual levels. We need to support boys and girls who enact non-normative gender and sexual identities. Making our schools safe for sissies can make the school safer for all students. Masculine girls, feminine boys, and all those in between. Thank you. Those are discussion questions. Would you like to read it?
Okay. Can you think of anything in addition that schools do to promote masculinity